Welcome to a highlight about what was discussed at the last Realistic Commission meeting. I'm going to do my best to also summarize some of the conversations that were held in past meetings. I challenge you, if you are looking to get your real estate license here in the state of Maryland, or you already have your real estate license, to consider attending the public meetings that happen on the third Wednesday of every month. They start at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. You would go to their website, Realistic Commission. So just Google Maryland Realistic Commission. Once you're on their website, on the menu, click on Board Business, and then you're able to attend using Google Meet. If you're not able to attend using Google Meet software, then you are able to call in, listen, and towards the end, they are going to ask for public comments where you are able to chime in. Disclaimer: I am Brenda Kasuva, real estate educator. And so, what I am sharing is what I heard during that particular meeting. They will usually post their minutes on their website after they have been approved. Right now, the last time I checked, oh my goodness, the minutes posted were for the month of May. So, whatever I'm sharing, you might see it in the month of December or hopefully by January 2025. So, this is what I had. The confirmation is that you will go to their website and confirm what I shared. The agenda usually starts off with them having motions passed to approve the complaints that they listened to for that particular month. Complaints are also posted under the disciplinary actions under the menu option of consumers. And then the minutes for the previous meeting are also approved. And then later on, they're going to be posted. The order of, or rather, the topics that are usually going to be discussed are from the education point of view. There is where we get to learn about how many individuals are trying to pass that particular exam. And then we also dig deeper sometimes into the topic of continuing education for those of us who already have a Maryland real estate license. A legislative report that summarizes the laws that have come into play that are going to be enforced by the Realistic Commission, or any that are being proposed that we need to pay attention to that will affect us in the real estate industry. The executive director will usually have a report for those individuals who are working to pass the salesperson exam or the broker exam. This is a quick review that the executive director is not one of the 9 realistic commissioners. This individual is a state employee. They are hired to run the realistic commission department. The chairperson, that individual is elected from one of the 9. These 9 realistic commissioners are volunteers, of which we are supposed to have 5 individuals that are licensed, and then the other 4 are consumer realistic commissioners. So that individual will have a report, and then finally we shall have public comments where you're able to share your thoughts. Let me start off with the education part. This is where we heard about how many individuals took the exam in the month of October versus last year, how many people passed the first time, and so forth. Unfortunately, I don't have my notes here to share that with you. We shall definitely review that in the minutes when they're posted. However, what was of importance to all of us, whether you're looking to get your Maryland real estate license or you already have one, are the courses that are administered and facilitated by the Realistic Commission. There are 4. So this month of October, the Realistic Commission was busy having train the trainer sessions to train individuals who are going to be teaching these courses. I had the pleasure of leading 4 of those particular courses or sessions. And so we have these 4 courses that I'm going to review. The first one is Maryland Real Estate Commission Supervision or Broker Supervision, Category I. This is a 3-hour course that for that individual that is supervising others, you're a broker, you're a team leader, or you're an office manager, you are required to take this particular course as part of your 15 hours minimum requirement of continuing education. The other course, which is MREC, Agency Commercial, is for that individual who strictly performs commercial business, or if your broker allows it, for you to be able to do both commercial and residential type of transactions. Highly recommended for you to take it. It is 3 hours, and that's under category H for Harry. Brad, that's the name of the course as of October 1st, 2019. Brokerage Relationship and Disclosures, Category H, 3 hours. And this is on the residential side for those individuals who are licensed prior to October 1st, 2023. The 4th course is BRD-SD, Brokerage Relationship and Disclosures, Seller Disclosure. I know it all sounds similar, but this one is special for that individual that got their license after October 1st, 2023, and that is labeled as Category K, also offering 3 hours. Since we're talking about continuing education, let's review a couple of things. I mentioned that there are certain classes, the one I just spoke about, BRD-SD, that is for that individual that is licensed after October 1st, 2023. So what are the others? When I'm speaking about continuing education, let me review a couple things. The first one is that it's every 2 years. Our Maryland real estate license is good for 2 years. Within that 2-year cycle, we need to take a minimum of 15 hours of continuing education. You can always take more. October 1st, 2023, that initial time that you're getting that license, meaning this is the first time you are getting that particular license, then you will be required to take these classes. 3 hours on the topic of contracts, and contracts here range from the contract between the buyer and the broker, the seller and the broker, landlord and tenant with the broker, the contract between the sellers and the buyers, the contract lease between the landlord and the tenants, and if you so happen to be doing property management, and also that contract between you and your future broker if you are working towards passing that Maryland real estate exam. So that's contracts, 3 hours. Principles of real estate is going to go through 3 subtopics. Advertising, which is important, and then we get into deposits, and we get into condo and HOA rules. For that individual licensed after October 1st, 2023, BRD-SD, Brokerage Relationship Disclosures, and Seller Disclosure, where we dig deeper into the disclosure disclaimer. Property management, here we're discussing when you're working with a landlord and a tenant, what it is that we need to pay attention to. It is not going to talk about how to start your own property management business. To do that, your broker needs to say yes for you to be able to do property management for others. Here in Maryland at this time, you do not need to have a real estate license to do property management. Professionalism and real estate financing, each one of them gets a minimum of 1.5 hours. To the person watching or listening, you will notice that if you've had your license, these individuals do not have any electives all the 6 courses are called for with specific topics and the amount of time, still equaling up to 15 hours for the first cycle. So the brokerage relationship and seller disclosure, once again, this one is special where we're talking about seller disclosure. This is only right now for individuals who got their license after October 1st, 2023. This is my hope. Again, it will need to be worked on. My hope is that it shall not be confusing. Oh, do I need to take BRD-SD or BRD? Hopefully, it shall be one course. That's me speaking it into the future. I'll keep you posted if that ever happens. For now, BRD-SD is for individuals who got their license after October 1st, 2023. When that individual renews their license from the second renewal and thereafter, this might look familiar to those of us who got their license prior to October 1st, 2023. Where still 15 hours is the minimum for those individuals who are salespeople category, is 3 hours on the topic of legislative, 3 hours on code of ethics, brokerage relationship and disclosure, BRAD, is 3 hours. And then the fourth mandatory topic for those of us who do residential is fair housing, minimum 1.5. The rest of the hours, 4.5 hours minimum, is elective topics. Those elective topics is where you could decide whichever one you are interested in at that time. It still needs to be approved by the Realistic Commission for you to take it. So this could be, okay, I want to know more about appraisals. I want to know more about home inspection. I want to know more about staging. I'm just giving examples. It could be in any topic. However, it needs to be approved again by the Realistic Commission for it to count as continuing education. And these are the topics that anyone who got their license after October 1st, 2023, after their first renewal, moving forward, these would be the topics that that individual would be taking. When the person upgrades their responsibilities, then now they are a broker, a team leader, or a manager. Each one of these classifications, the person needs to be licensed at least for 3 years. To become a broker, that individual is going to take 135 hours of course, just like when you're taking it right now to be a salesperson, you're taking 60 hours. This person, as a broker, is licensed minimum 3 years. They've gone through 135 hours and they took an exam and passed and decided to be a broker. A team leader supervising others, a manager supervising others, and therefore the topics that they take are a little bit different. The difference here is that they will take a course under the topic of broker supervision, which is one of those 4 courses that I started off sharing, that these are administered and facilitated by the Realistic Commission in terms of the people who can teach it, the content, the outline is all done by the Realistic Commission. So in review, a broker team leader manager, minimum 15 hours total, 3 hours on the legislative topic, 3 hours on code of ethics, 3 hours on brokerage relationship and disclosure, an hour and a half on fair housing, 3 hours on broker supervision, and lastly, a minimum 1.5 hours on elective topics. To finish the topic of continuing education here in Maryland, just a couple of notes to take or point out is that prior to the expiration of our license, we're going to get reminders. For example, if my license is expiring on June the 26th, 2025, 60 days prior to the expiration, I will get a reminder. 30 days before that expiration, I will get another reminder. And the last one, 3 days before. During this time, I need to pay attention because a law passed as of October 1st, 2024. Anyone's license that expires after that date, we do need to complete our continuing education classes or credits, minimum again 15 hours, 30 days before my expiration date. In my example, that would be by May 26th, 2025, I need to have completed my continuing education credits, minimum 15 hours. If you need to go back and review what those requirements are, definitely rewind. If, for example, I am not able to complete those courses, minimum 15 hours in a 2-year cycle, 30 days before my license expires, there's a penalty or consequence. And that is $168. Right now, that's a fee. Those fees are scheduled to go up sometime in 2025. So you'll just come back to the Real Estate Commission website, or I'll be sharing in one of my upcoming videos what that fee is. So $168 will be tacked on if you are not able to complete your continuing education classes 30 days prior to the expiration date. Keep in mind, plan accordingly. The schools have 14 days to let the Real Estate Commission know of the classes that you took. The next update is on legislative. This is where we go through what they've been proposing, maybe what is coming in the future. So let's start with the first one that they have been speaking about for a long time, and that is requiring radon tests to be done on every transfer. So where we are is, as of this moment, that will not proceed. The challenge that was presented is the cost, and also there might be a delay because to do a radon test, the test kit needs to be in the property for 2 days. Therefore, there might be delays to transfer of property. So right now that is on hold. I don't know whether it shall come up in the future. The one that is definitely going to proceed as of this moment is having background and fingerprint checks done when you're getting the license, and also when you're renewing. The conversation continues. I will keep you updated on that as I attend the future meetings. The disclosure disclaimer on residential properties, that statement is going to be updated. There are a couple of things that sometimes are missed that the seller needs to disclose. The biggest one of conversation right now is when a seller doesn't have septic drains, instead they have holding tanks. Sometimes the agent doesn't ask, sometimes the seller doesn't say, and so to avoid all that, that will be included on that statement and probably other things. Hopefully, we shall know in the next couple of months where we end up with an updated disclosure disclaimer statement. The executive director made a report, and the things that were discussed is numbers. This is always my favorite. And if you already have your real estate license, I look forward to meeting you in a continuing education class. If you're working on passing your real estate exam, I hope some of the other videos are going to help you pass, especially the Maryland real estate exam. Let me know in the comments if that is applicable to you. So currently, we are 47,108 of us that have a Maryland real estate license. The breakdown is 39,700 of us as salespeople. We then have associate brokers of 3,161. Brokers are at 4,247. This includes any individual that has more than one real estate license, and Maryland happens to be one of them. Thank you so much for making it this far. I look forward to meeting you. Until next time, cheers. The next meeting is going to be November the 20th. I challenge you to definitely attend. I will see you next time.